Okay, so I want you to take a look at this map and see if you can work out what I am alluding to over here. This is the path of fossil fuels, non-renewables. For some reason... Okay, here we go. The United States barred Russian oil shipments in March, curbing tanker trips across the Atlantic to Gulf Coast fuel markets. First of all, why does anybody need a tanker to go across the Atlantic to deliver energy, renewables, LNG, what do you call that, oil, to Europe? Why would they need to go from America across the Atlantic to deliver oil and gas over here when Russia... Let's take a look at this. I see. There's Russia over there, and we are worried about why we have this type of a route over here when the Suez Canal. Well, interesting thing about the Suez Canal, given that Russia now has KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Turkey in its pocket. And so let us continue our way down and see what else we find. The Arabian Sea. The price differential is a potential win for refiners willing to buy Russian crude. You bet it is. They no longer have to pay on the dollar. India, which imported almost no Russian oil before this war, is projected to average nearly 1.5 million barrels a day this month, according to ship trapping firm Kepler. The surge in related weeks-long tanker voyages is causing a strain on the shipping market, according to Kepler analyst Matt Smith. You bet it is. So exactly who is winning and what are they winning in all this insanity? So here we're going into China, Hong Kong, and I'm just trying to see. Shipments from Russian east ports to China grew more common as Beijing expanded export quotas for refiners, pushing them to pump out diesel and other fuels. It is economics at its most brutal, said Dave Ansberger, head of reporting and trading solutions at Standard & Poor's Global Commodity Insights. China will buy Russian crude as cheap as it possibly can, and it will export its products to markets that don't take Russian oil. Incredibly genius, what I could have told you and what I have been saying. So I just want to see if they mention, do they mention the East route, the mammoth pipeline between Russia and China? Look it up, East Route Pipeline. It's absolutely astonishing. And then take a look at this over here and note this is India, the dark gray. It's actually, I find this, because I have a visual a disability, I find this type of map very difficult to follow. I have to invert it. So the grey area is the ocean. Here we have India, and so we carry on, and then if you come down here you have Africa, right? And so if Russia is no longer selling oil west and it's selling it to India and China and all of these markets in Africa, why on earth is Russia in trouble? I'll tell you who is in trouble. America is in trouble. Nobody needs expensive oil from here shipped across the Atlantic to Europe, and then on the other side are shipped across to China, when they actually have the Caspian Sea route and their own little dedicated Silk Road revival, which makes this so absurd. The United States barred Russian oil shipments in March, curbing tanker trips across the Atlantic. Yeah, it's too expensive to send tankers across the Atlantic to deliver oil. Nobody cares if the United States barred them or not. In fact, there's so many Russian subs in the Atlantic, it's likely that American ships will struggle to get across in the first place, adding immensely to the costs. So, US barring Russian oil shipments means absolutely nothing. It simply means that United States and Europe is ixnayed out of the future, and all these countries, South America and the Suez and the Middle East and China and Hong Kong, and they're all going to do business with each other and flat out ignore this place altogether. I hope that makes sense. Jezra signing out.